So the fourth presentation is from Dr. Pitto, President of Pitto, the Freight Forwarder Association of the Port of Genoa, Italy. The project title is Simplified Logistics Zone, the pilot project for innovation and green economic development. Dr. Pitto, please.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. It is a great honor to participate to the Belt and Road Summit, and I'm very excited to have the opportunity to share with you our project. If we can have the first slide, thanks, which is already raising a lot of interest from potential investors, both on a domestic and international scale. My name is Alessandro Pitto. I am the chairman of Porto, which is the Freight Forwarders Association of the Port of Genoa, which itself is the busiest port in Italy. And please let me introduce to you the Valpolcevera Green Logistic Valley. Please, next slide. Porto, in close cooperation with the Genoa municipality, has carried out an in-depth study aimed at the development of value-added logistics activities and facilities in Valpolcevera, which is a very wide area in close proximity of the Port of Genoa. The idea is to take advantage of the opportunities arising from the Italian law, which is now allowing the creation of simplified logistic zones in areas which are geographically or functionally connected to the main international seaports. In perspective, this vision will be further strengthened by the creation of a custom-bonded area and several incubators for startups in the logistics field. Next slide, please. The purpose of our initiative is the creation of business opportunities in a very large area, which counts more than 2 million square meters, which has been hit not only by the Morandi Bridge collapse, which hit world news 3 years ago, but also by decades of deindustrialization and economic decline. And our aim is to regenerate unused or underused areas by attracting activities able to provide high added value, high intensity of employment, and high technological content. And we would like also them to be declined in terms of environmental sustainability. Next slide, please. And please let me share with you some context information to better understand our project. As I said before, the initiative is an integral part of a wider development plan, which is being pursued by the Italian state, the Liguria region, and the Genoa municipality, and also the Genoa Port Authority, and which is set to radically transform the city and its port. And to name but a few of the major projects which are currently underway in Genoa, we can mention the rail corridor Rhine-Alpine, which runs between Genoa and Rotterdam, and itself is part of the EU-TEN-T network. The new breakwater dam of the Port of Genoa, which will be a huge investment for the Italian government. And also Genoa will be the new landing station of the Blue Med cable, which is a high-speed fiber optic cable, which will put Genoa at the heart of the global data connectivity in Europe. Next slide, please. A few numbers about the Port of Genoa. Port of Genoa is the largest Italian seaport and one of the busiest in the Mediterranean, handling 2.5 million TEUs of container traffic, 58 million tons of general cargo, 12 million tons of ro-ro cargo, and 1,500,000 passengers of both cruise and ferry. And thanks to its ideal location in the northwestern Mediterranean, it serves as an important gateway for industrial products in northern Italy and most of Central Europe. But most importantly, the Port of Genoa is a major candidate to be a terminal point of the Belt and Road Initiative in the Mediterranean. Slide 6, please. The Port of Genoa, as mentioned before, if we can spend a few words about its connections, is home to the Rhine-Alpine rail freight corridor, which is part of the 10T rail corridor system, which is being built by the EU to improve its rail freight and people connections. The rail freight corridor Rhine-Alpine stretches from Genoa to Rotterdam and runs right through the heart of the EU, which means that this will be the most heavily industrialized north-south route in Central Europe. And this outstanding position, together with the resulting fact that this corridor carries by far the greatest transport volumes in Europe, make the corridor the pioneer for international rail freight transport in Europe. Next slide, please. In Genoa, there is already a large plan of public and private investment underway which is set to transform the Port of Genoa in the next few years. And these are aiming to improve its competitiveness and accessibility, both sea and land side. As I mentioned before, there will be the construction of the new breakwater dam, which is one of the largest public work ever built in Italy, and will double the capacity of the port, but also dredging port expansion for both cargo and cruise, and the complete remake of the waterfront are underway. And already the port is home to all major global carrier and terminal operators like Maersk, COSCO, MSC, PSA, Steinweg, and the Qingdao Port International. Next slide, please. Valpolcevera, which is the area that we are talking about, lies in the close proximity of the port and the airport of Genoa, which is a very strategic location for the development of logistic-related facilities. Large abandoned areas are waiting an opportunity for reconversion. Valpolcevera is the largest reservoir of unused area of the city of Genoa, approximately 2 million square meters, and represent an opportunity for sustainable development in the immediate future. And already several international corporations have invested here, including Fincantieri, Ansaldo, Amazon, Ericsson, Siemens, ArcelorMittal, to name but a few. Next slide, please. Valpolcevera already plays an important role in connecting the city and the Port of Genoa with the main rail and road European networks. It is home to the most important railways, roads and highways running across Liguria in both north-south and east-west direction. As I mentioned, the corridor Rhine-Alpine, there will be and is underway the reorganization of the railway junction of the city of Genoa, the completion of the sea road system in the port, the construction of a new highway link, and is already home of several urban regeneration projects. Next slide, please. The highlights of the project can be summarized as a large availability of areas. As I mentioned, there are land conversion opportunities for unused or underused areas. There will be large employment opportunities. In this area, we have a 9% figures for unemployment, and we have the youngest population of the city of Genoa. We have an optimal geographical position because this area is very close to a large market, which is made up of 16 million people, which have the highest per capita income in Italy and which is above the EU average. It is at the heart of a citywide regeneration project. And as I said before, will be the focal point of the Belt and Road Initiative and is already target of several foreign investors. Next slide, please. And last but not least, Genoa will be home of the landing station of the Blue Med cable, which links Sicily, which is already main hub for submarine cables, and Milan. Vodafone and Equinix have already announced their project to build their landing station for the 2 Africa cable, which will link 16 European countries to North Africa. And this will be a leverage for building a digital ecosystem around the landing station, because direct access to submarine cables will attract OTT, content providers, carriers, cloud and service providers. So I can close my presentation stating that logistics and IT are more and more integrated, and the Valpolcevera Green Logistics Valleys will be an ideal candidate to develop logistics services based on state-of-the-art IT infrastructures. Next slide, and I will thank you all for your attention.
Thank you very much, Dr. Pitto. We've got time for some questions. The first one is, which are the advantages of special logistic zones?
Okay. In Italy, according to the law, the terms to obtain authorization from public bodies will be reduced by 1/3. There is the institution of a fully digital administrative single windows, which will be available in Italian and also in English. So every authorization will go through a single window. Will be possible to create custom bonded areas. We will have the benefit of the suspension of VAT payment. And there will be also the availability of investment tax credit for firms which will invest in the special logistics zones.
Thank you. We have time for just one more. What do you mean by customs corridor?
Okay, I mean that it will be possible to move goods back and forth from the port to the logistics zones without performing any custom operation. So it will be like a wide custom bonded warehouse in which it will be possible to move goods, to add value to goods, to assemble and to reship them under custom regime, so without paying, as I said, any duties and any taxes.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Pitto. Thank you.
Thank you.
The fifth presentation